I remembered this time. Hello, everyone. Alright, so... Hey, look at that. I don't even have to fix anything. We are going to be starting Sherlock Holmes, Nemesis. Or as the game itself calls itself. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes versus Arsene Lupin. So, this is the fourth, I believe, game in the series from Frogwares. So, let's... You know, I'm actually gonna... Hang on just a second. Un momento. Okay. No. All right. Hold on. My goodness. All right. I've got to turn the fan on again. My bad. All right. So let's just jump into a brand new game. Ooh, look at that. You are undertaking to portray Sherlock Holmes, the famous consulting detective of 221B Baker Street, London. During this case, you must demonstrate both sagacity and calm. That's a fancy word. Observe well the items around you and don't hesitate to click on them. Once you have the required information, you will obtain comments that will help in your hunt. Do not forget to interrogate anybody who may be able to inform you. Choose the right questions and pay heed to their answers. Assure yourself that you aren't caught short by your adversary. Arsene Lupin will throw a number of challenges at you which will demand you are subtle and methodical. Thus, in the course of your investigations, you will have need to pencil and paper. Certain riddles will require reflection worthy of your hero. It will be challenging. I'm doomed. At certain moments, you will need to type a key word in response to a question in order to continue the adventure. You are at liberty to consult your notes in order to help yourself. Do not forget to read the documents that you will have gathered and glance through Sherlock's notes. They are all important. In order to advance your interest, you will have at your disposition plans and maps which will permit you to teleport by clicking on given points. You may equally make your character run by double-clicking with the left mouse button. England's honor is at stake. Do not disappoint your adversary. It's as if they think I've never played one of their games before. Oh. A minor graphical upgrade. Frogwares presents. Looks a little more modern than the last game. A new adventure of Sherlock Holmes. Are we making our way towards 221B Baker Street, episode? Ah, yeah. Sherlock Holmes versus Arsene Lupin. And it looks like they used the exact same map from the last game, so we got a little consistency going on. I like it. A horse. Where's that horse? Well, the kid selling the paper isn't over here, but there's a hobo feeding birds. London, July 14th, 1895. There it is, 221B Baker Street.
It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent, were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arsene Lupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. you're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
My dear Watson,
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewelry that once belonged to the Nemesis. These jewels were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy, influential Sicilian. Finally, our friend, having committed his crime, left word for the local press explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with, I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement.
Oh.
Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional, of the man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens. As I was saying, are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arsene Lupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French. However, he didn't pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What?
What is it, Watson?
Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
This letter on the table. Holmes, read it.
You control Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I do I? You control Sherlock Holmes. To move in the game, just left-click on the destination you want to reach. Double-click to make him run. Alright, Watson, what is this? Has you so aghast? Dear Mr. Holmes, before I begin, please excuse any grammatical or spelling errors that you might notice. Your language isn't my native tongue, as I have come from the continent France, to be exact. In addition, my singular subjects of conversation, whether they be oral or written, are the most exquisite food and wine, the noblest arts, and the sublimest women. The whole world knows that you people of Her Most Gracious Majesty do not produce or even discern any manifestation of aesthetic intelligence and civilization that sets men apart from beasts. Ouch. Thus, the opportunities to practice your language are sporadic and brief. What use is there to linger with a lackey or maid? But look, I see I have made a mistake, or rather an excruciable mistranslation. I said you people of Her Most Gracious blah blah blah. I should have said the people of blah blah blah, other than you. How can I include you in this half-ruddy-faced, half-pallid crowd reeking of brine and cheap beer? You stand apart, an icon. Having followed your exploits for some time and being interested in your unusual personality, I started to see in you a man of intelligence, ingenuity, and singular refinement. The incredible results of your activities and the manner in which you achieve them are marked with the seals of genius. Believe me, despite the lamentable opinion that I hold for the inhabitants of your island, I have for you an admiration without limit, which reached its apogee recently, when I discovered you have a French ancestor. What unlucky stars brought you to the world elsewhere other than in the motherland? The motherland I call my own, that should have been your own? Perhaps the gods desired that your presence in this island bring up the intelligence average that was so low and it bordered on the absurd. The business that brings me to write this letter may bring an answer to this question. You see, events without accident will occur in London in the week to come, beginning on the very night of the day in which you read this letter. The purpose of these events is to bring to light a fraud, the arrogance and vanity of the English. Enough of the haughty, boring composure that the English present us with. Passions should be freely expressed. Enough of the derisive confidence in England's impregnability, which is displayed by all of your politicians and soldiers. The English fortress is being protected by seas serving as moats. Enough of your supposed symbols of majesty and grandeur of spirit, which are, in fact, merely the fruits of looting and plundering. England has measured the world by its stingy, superior smile for far too long. Thus I, Arsene Lupin, have pledged to get rid of this smile. To that end, in the week to come, I pledge to steal 5 of the most representational symbols of the alleged English grandeur here in London. Once these auspicious achievements have been accomplished, I will exhibit the trophies for the world to see and will reveal the smallness of a nation incapable of preserving its pride. England will become the laughingstock of all nations, from the largest to the smallest, and will have to swallow its pride and lower its head for millennia to come. Imagine these self-righteous and perfidious faces, who ordinarily parade the fact that they are one of Her Majesty's people, will henceforth hide their origins. Being English will no longer be grounds for pride, but rather shame. In brief, the debts will be paid. You are perhaps asking why I have chosen to share with you my vision, which many who don't know me would consider mad. After all, if my former praises are well-founded, you are certainly the only person in England capable of stopping my plan. Like myself, you are fully aware of the inefficiency and the flagrant lack of imagination that plagues your police service. The reason for this letter is eminently narcissistic. No exceptional artist desires to produce their work for an uncultured public incapable of appreciating the true value of his prowess and talent. In you I have found the ideal spectator, and I wish for you to follow the stages of my consternation step by step. In fact, I would almost wish for you to put yourself in my path, and in vain to stop me from committing these steps. But you are a busy man who doesn't like defeat. What a shame! If, despite everything, the adventure tempts you anyway, I shall leave you a few verses that deal with tonight's targets. All across France, everyone knows. In the blind kingdom, you only need one eye for the crown. You treat us like blind men, it shows. 'Twas a one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. It is true that we failed, though we tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality our pain. One of the Spanish capes, the detestable pride that hangs around you like a drapes. Our suffering makes you snide. An adversary came along in order to protect victory. We were put in the wrong, and the lady made history. Save the pain and defeat. The worst in this game is that the hero he did meet carries a French name. Clearly did vengeance sound. What I have in mind for this traitor, sitting at his master's feet like a hound, is to be run aground. On my honor tonight to hand, I will break free the binding, so that all may understand our victory will take wing. Arsene Lupin. Interesting indeed. First... I can do first person.
Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared.
Quite
If you'll
right.
Be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arsene Lupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have one day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that will be informative.
You can control Dr. Watson. Alright, let me turn music down just a tad more. It's a bit loud for me, at least. Alright, and we'll... Excuse me. There we go. Alright, and a save. Okay, E opens the...
Holmes's violin.
Holmes' violin. Oh, I like that it turned a different color, so I know that I've already looked at it. Excellent. Most excellent. Ooh.
What? This accursed statue is still here? I've asked Mrs. Hudson to remove it for us.
Call back to the last game. I like it.
Holmes's Table for Experiments. A motley collection. Ooh, The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I recall.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. Nice. What's that? Okay.
Oh, what a mess. treaty on Cornish, the Celtic language of the Cornish people. And here, medieval pottery. Holmes has an interesting taste in reading.
Indeed. I thought he said he was going to eat his breakfast. Where did he run off to?
My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of this Persian slipper.
There must be a reason for that.
It's a coal bucket in which Holmes stores his cigars. What a strange idea. This is how Holmes organizes his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that.
Stabbed to the mantle with a knife.
Colonel Gordon. It was during the affair of the lodger in treatment. The Reichenbach Falls. What an awful memory.
Ah, yes. This is my room. There's a letter on the floor. Human heart, huh? Can't go through this other door, can I?
I am not ready yet, Watson.
Oh, sorry, sorry, Holmes. Enjoy your meal. I will be off. Talk to the bookstore. Oh, what's the name of the guy that runs the bookstore? I forgot now. Ding, 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 ding. What did we learn? We learned where 221 Baker Street is. Excellent. Now let us continue.
No, I have nothing to ask him.
Okay. I refuse to talk to him. It's not necessary. Very well. Oh. Can I wish her a good morning, or is it going to be like...
Sir?
Good morning. I guess not. Choo. Oh, wait. Oh, the little pug dog is not sitting on the porch anymore. Aw. The dog was on that porch the whole last game. Every time we were in London, he was sitting there just happy as could be. And the bookstore.
Poor Barnes should hire a cleaning lady. Oh, what a mess.
I think this place has been ransacked, actually.
Gunruth, Kudwilm, Lizrit, Sublilha.
Is he trying to summon Cthulhu?
Good day, Barnes.
Hello, Dr. Watson. How are you? I didn't hear you enter.
Are you busy? Am I disturbing you?
Not at all. I was researching, but if you came to see me, it must be that you're looking for something specific. Perhaps I can help you?
A very strange affair, bewildering even, has brought me to see you. An affair involving a Spanish cape and a one-eyed, one-armed man.
Most certainly. You will find the works dealing with naval history on one of the shelves somewhere.
Oh, that's a lot of help.
Thank you. I'll go look.
Watson, you can't be this dense. He's obviously... It's that book we brought him and asked him to look at in the last game. It's done something to his mind. Also, why is there a chair up here? That's weird. Aha! Was his last voyage. Upon his return, he astounded many with his taste of raw meat and his sudden onslaught of salvation when, I quote his housekeeper, local college students or uninformed conscripts passed in front of the windows of the living room. He died 2 years later due to a fateful fall while attempting to battle the weathercock atop Edinburgh's bell tower with a sculpture that he had made out of clay and briar chips, representing the supposed offspring of the Duke of Kent and a hedgehog. Horatio Nelson, 1st Viscount Nelson, Born in Burnham, Thorpe, Norfolk in 1758, we owe to Admiral Nelson some of the most beautiful pages of the Royal Navy's history. Charged with intercepting Bonaparte en route to Egypt, he conquered the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile in 1798. Not content to rest on his laurels, in 1799 he recaptured Naples from the revolutionaries and was made Duke of Bront in 1800. The death of his unrivaled seaman, who had already given his body in the service of his country, he had one arm amputated and lost the sight in one eye, was his crowning moment. He died triumphing over Admiral Villeneuve during the Battle of Trafalgar, despite being inferior in terms of numbers, but through the grace of a courage and audacity without compare. A representative tale of Nelson occurred during a former battle when the flag captain warned him that the commander was signaling retreat. Admiral Nelson, convinced they were to be victorious, held the telescope to his blind eye and said, "I really do not see the signal." Thus he continued to battle, coming out victorious. Lucky for him, his joke... That's funny.
Ah, here's my book, The Great English Sailors. As it happens, I found this book, and...
Excuse me, my dear Dr. Watson, but I am in need of tranquility.
Well, farewell, Barnes.
I don't think it's going to end well for Barnes. No, not at all. Alright. Let's return to Holmes and see if he's finished with his breakfast. Hopefully. He has. Poor Barnes read that occult book and now he's going mad.
No, I have nothing to ask him.
Alright. Do. Kitchen, perhaps? Ah, Holmes.
Now tell me, Watson, what progress have you made? Have you found the meaning of the mysterious signature?
Now tell me, Watson, have you discovered the meaning of this? Yes. Admiral Nelson. I hope Admiral Nelson's good enough. Admiral Nelson.
Your intentions are good, Watson, but you've missed everything of importance.
There's no hinty hint thing in this one, is there? Ah, here it is. Okay, I know. Okay, it's... I gotta do his full name. Fine. Horatio Nelson. Horatio... Nelson.
It's an anagram, Holmes. The letters in Arseno Lotino can be used to spell out Horatio Nelson.
That's a welcome confirmation. No doubt the target of the theft is somehow connected with the Battle of Trafalgar, won by Admiral Lord Nelson at the expense of the French. Nelson, who lost an eye and an arm in battle, has a statue high atop a column in Trafalgar Square. It says that the object of the theft is sitting at his master's feet. There's nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a site of interest near Trafalgar Square.
Very good, Holmes.
Ha! I found it at last. The map of London.
So, according to you, what is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
At long last, as if I looked around for half an hour. Let's see. Map of London. West, south, center, east. Where's... I'm not... Oxford Circus is a very popular marketplace situated on Oxford Street, which is considered to be the world's largest avenue. Burlington Arcade. Piccadilly Circus. 221B Baker Street. Alright. Oh! I hate how that happens. South. Buckingham Palace. Westminster Abbey. Clock Tower Bridge. New Scotland Yard. Justice Court. This building is a large grey stone emphasis on Victorian Gothic style. The British Museum. Trafalgar Square. National Gallery of Painting is located on Trafalgar Square where the Nelson Column is erected.
The only location visible is the National Gallery of Painting, which faces the column.
Why not? Our man wants to steal a painting, but which one? Watson, shall we head out? Let's take a tour of the National Gallery. While you find us a hansom, I'll send a message to Lestrade to have him join us.
Very good. Ba 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 ba. Perfect.
Lamb, good timing. Can you give myself and my friend Sherlock a lift?
With pleasure, Dr. Watson. The mistress, Miss Bromsby, gave me the day off. I'll wait for you.
Miss Bromsby, huh?
So, Holmes, what are we doing?
We are looking for a clue, Watson.
Fragile. The museum transports china?
Art is precious, my dear Watson, but it's true that this crate is a curious size. I'd say 3 feet 3 inches on 2 sides by 6 foot 6.
Oh, what a mess. Oh, what a mess.
Yes, Watson. But you never know what can be found. Hello, good sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to the National Gallery of Painting. As it's such a lovely day outside, you're the only visitors at the moment, and likely will be for the whole day, as the minimum number of people for a guided tour is...
We're not here to visit the museum, young man. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective?
Indeed, I have reason to believe that a theft is being planned that will take place here, perhaps as early as today.
A robbery?
I'm not certain, but there is a good reason to believe that is the case. We have contacted Inspector Lestrade at Scotland Yard, and he should be joining us momentarily. Meanwhile, rest assured that we are here in an official capacity. In the meantime, you can certainly help us. One of the paintings will play a part in the matter, but I don't yet know exactly which one. I do, however, have a few clues that should tell something to a specialist like yourself.
Yes, of course. As it happens, I've only been working here for 3 days. Actually, I'm an apprentice, and my duties here are essentially administrative.
Pray tell, would I be correct in deducing that the elder of the 2 men that we can see up there is the director of the museum?
Yes, that is Sir Pointer. He could certainly assist you better than I, but at the moment he's terribly occupied and will be for some time.
But the location that you are proposing is unworthy of my work. All of my pieces are hymns to color and light. It's the very stars, the sun that you want to extinguish.
Please understand, dear sir, the entrance hall is reserved for temporary exhibitions. We are able to add more lighting.
In that case, you would have to provide lanterns across the whole length of the ceiling, and to use the most refined oil possible. Definitely not gas. And mirrors to reflect the light, along with some canvases in basic colors to bring out the contrasts.
We will do all that we possibly can.
Nevertheless, I insist that a number of my works must be on the main floor next to the large pieces.
But our rooms are already full, and, as you know, Each has its specific subject. Too much modernism?
How can there be too much modernism? Modernism doesn't exist. Only art exists. Art is timeless. Art is cosmic.
Well,
Okay.
sir, perhaps we should continue this conversation in my office.
Wow.
Then you must certainly have a ledger of the works that are shown in the museum, with a description of each painting.
Yes, Sir Pointer entrusted it to my care this morning so I could familiarize myself with the collection, but I lost it. I know I make a rather feeble archivist, but while I was doing a tour of the museum, the painting that Mr. Pointer is now dealing with arrived, along with cases full of canvases that he had to quickly inventory.
The case of the missing ledger. What do you make of it, Watson? Listen, Mr.
Palinur, sir.
Palinor, my friend and I will make our way through the museum in order to find the ledger. If you lost it while touring the museum and it wasn't back on the desk, then it must be in one of the galleries. Stay here and we will return to see you when we have found it, and not a word of it to the director.
Certainly, sir. With many thanks. I will continue to do my inventory and await you.
Tell me, young man, would you happen to have a blueprint of the building in order to facilitate the task at hand?
Ah, yes. Where did I put it? Oh, yes, here it is.
Thank you.
Farewell, Palinor.
Very good. All right. Ah, lovely. English gallery, Dutch, Flemish, Italian, German. No admittance to public. Director's office, Spanish, and French. Entrance hall. Excellent. All right, Watson. Let's... Oh, hang on a second. Is there anything to see over here? No. All right. Then let us begin to hunt for the ledger.
Closed.
At least he didn't say closed tight. That got really old last game. We're not going through these doors because they're real fake doors. Alright, well, let's be a bit methodical. And by be a bit methodical, I'm going to wander around.
Hans Holbein the Younger died of the plague in London in 1543. His works are on loan to the museum.
Ah.
The painter who was conversing with the director has such character, to the point of taking some of it out on this poor plant.
That thing got really destroyed. Oh, what's this?
The Spanish Painters Gallery. La Tela Real by the great Spanish master Diego Velázquez, 1599 to 1660, painted from the golden century of Spain. It depicts a royal boar hunt. The Vendramin family, venerating a relic of the True Cross by Titian, a Venetian paper, died in 1576, leader of the 16th century Venetian school of the Cinquecento. Jacob with a Flock of Laban by Giuseppe de Ribera, also called Lo Spagnoletto, or the Little Spaniard because of his height. Christ healing the paralytic at the pool of Bethesda by Murillo, one of the most important figures in Baroque painting in Spain during the 18th century.
Huh. We're getting an art lesson.
Christ driving the traders from the temple, canvassed by the Spanish master El Greco. A peasant boy leaning on a sill by Bartolomé Esteban Murillo, 1617 to 1682. The Toilet of Venus by Diego Velázquez, who was considered, along with Francisco Goya and El Greco, as one of the greatest artists in all of Spanish history.
The toilet? Alright.
An Apostle, Giuseppe de Ribera, 1591 to 1652. This canvas by Tiziano Vecellio, better known as Titian, is an allegory of prudence. It reads, "From the past, the man of the present acts prudently so as not to imperil the future." Wise advice. The Lamentation of the Dead Christ by Josep de Ribera, a tenebrist painter.
Why do we need the ledger? Sherlock
A
seems to know
lovely
everything.
painting by Murillo. Impressive.
Yes.
The Adoration of the Name of Jesus, El Greco, 1541 to 1614. Spanish painter from Crete, belonging to the Mannerist school.
It's a rather low quality version of that image, isn't it? Right, into the next hall.
French Painters Gallery. A portrait, Madame Moitessier, by Ingres, who was also a violinist on the side, like myself. Monsieur de Norvins, portrait by Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, 1780 to 1876. The Billet Doux by Françoise Boucher. A beautiful landscape by Boucher, Françoise, a master of colour in the Age of Enlightenment. The Battle of Genappe by Horace Vernet, one of the victories of the French Revolution. Horace Vernet, the Battle of the Hanau, which took place in 1813, the beginning of the end for Napoleon despite this victory. Watson, come quickly.
What is it, Holmes? What have you found?
A painting by my great-uncle, Horace Vernet. I had forgotten that his work could be found here. It is certainly this ancestor to whom Lupin made reference in his letter. Such talent, don't you think?
Who? Lupin?
No, Vernet. Albeit Lupin also, but in a different field.
Nice. Excuse me, Watson.
The Emperor Napoleon I, or Bonaparte as we English prefer, painted by Horace Vernet. The Scale of Love by Jean-Antoine Watteau. Born in 1684, died in 1721. French painter, one of the first in the Rococo style, inspired by the Commedia dell'arte, who loved to depict theatre and festivities in his paintings. Perfect Harmony by Jean-Antoine Watteau. Closed. A canvas by Nicolas Poussin that tells of the discovery of Moses. Very nice. The Adoration of the Golden Calf by Nicolas Poussin, a classical French painter from the 17th century who spent most of his productive career not in Paris, but in Rome, on the fringes of the prominent schools of the era.
There, it seems that we've found the famous ledger. It's written in shorthand, and there are hundreds of entries. Let's bring it to the archivist.
Jacques Cazot, portrait by Jean-Baptiste Perronneau, born around 1715, died 1783.
I will finish my gallery inspection first.
Portrait of a woman by Perronneau, French school, pastel on paper. Horace Vernet, my ancestor. Magnificent, this landscape at sunset.
Indeed.
A canvas by Joseph Vernet, my great-great-uncle. The Triumph of Pan by Nicolas Poussin.
Nice.
English Painters Hall. Thomas Gainsborough, one of the most famous English portrait and landscape painters. A magnificent landscape by Gainsborough. Margate from the Sea by William Turner. Here we have a precursor to Impressionism. A canvas by William Turner, the painter of light. John Constable. He managed to turn a boring part of England into a place you'd almost want to visit. Mr. and Mrs. Andrews by Gainsborough, an unfinished painting. An unrivaled landscape artist, he was obliged to do portraits in order to earn a living. The Evening Star by William Turner, the graceful transitional moment between day and night. Sun Rising Through Vapour by William Turner. 40 years before Monet, Turner creates a new painting that dissolves forms in a quivering of atmosphere and light. The Painter's Daughters Chasing a Butterfly by Thomas Gainsborough, an unfinished painting but touching nevertheless.
Nice.
Dr. Ralph Schomburg by Thomas Gainsborough, 1727 to 1788. A canvas by Sir Reynolds, Colonel Tarleton, hero of the British forces during the American War of Independence. Queen Charlotte, painted by Sir Thomas Lawrence, an 18th century painter. Lady Coburn and Her Three Eldest Sons by Sir Reynolds. Self-portrait by William Turner, born in 1775. Extraordinary English painter. Lord Heathfield of Gibraltar by Sir Joshua Reynolds, 1723 to 1792. One of the greatest portrait artists of his time.
Oh, so many pictures. Well, let's go back and talk to the poor fellow who lost the ledger.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, right.
Farewell, Palinor.
Here you go.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Here is your ledger, my friend.
You found it! Many thanks. You won't say anything to Sir Pointer.
Rest assured, are you familiar with how the entries are written? Everything seems to be abbreviated.
I understand how to locate a thematic group and how to read a description, but I am struggling with the location codes.
It's better than nothing at the moment. We're searching for a painting that has a connection to the Battle of Trafalgar.
Depicting what exactly?
According to this poem, it could be...
Alright, let's look at the poem. Okay. One eye. In the blind kingdom, you only need one eye for the crown. To treat the blind man shows. 'Twas one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. It's true that he failed, though he tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality, our pain. Ah.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
It might refer to a boat. Its master was Admiral Nelson, and the thief wanted to run it aground. Moreover, the boat would have a French name.
Wait, I have a suggestion. A very popular painting, symbolic even, the Fighting Temeraire, a Turner. In this painting, Turner is described as having mastered painting techniques, and it is one of the most beautiful English paintings of all time. The subject, a boat by the French name of Temeraire, was involved in the Battle of Trafalgar and distinguished itself by protecting Victory, the flagship on board which was...
Victory, did you say?
Yes, Admiral Nelson was on board.
Ah.
Temeraire received a special distinction, but I am not certain of which. The painting shows it being towed to the breaker's yard, I believe.
Where would I find it?
I don't know. You would have to search through the English works of this century near the west section of the gallery.
My thanks, Palinor. Come, Watson, let's take a look at the painting.
Alright, so this one?
Willem van de Velde, a Dutch painter who dedicated his talent to the sea. A terrible naval battle scene by Ludolf Bashuizen. A coast scene, Jan van de Capelle, Amsterdam 1626 to 1679. A river scene with a Dutch yacht by Van de Capelle.
Excuse me.
Jacob van Ruysdael, 1628 or 9 to 1682, one of the major landscape artists of Dutch golden age of the 17th century.
Okay, a painting of a ship. It's a painting of many paintings. Okay, we were already through here. There's no ships. No. No. This one?
Sun Rising Through Vapor
No.
by William Turner. 40 years before Monet, Turner creates a new painting that dissolves forms in a quivering of atmosphere and light.
Ha! Found it.
Here's what I've been looking for. The Fighting Temeraire. Splendid. What do you think?
I agree, it's splendid. The existence of this painting would seem to give credit to this whole affair.
As long as this painting remains on this wall, this letter, even if it is eloquent and provocative, is nothing more than a letter. It is possible that all of this could be a hoax with no substance whatsoever. We will know soon enough, as the theft will have to take place tonight.
We must warn the museum's director, Holmes.
You are correct, Watson. Shall we?
To the director's office.
Fantastic! Superb!
There, Maestro. I believe that everything is settled.
This collaboration will be my crowning glory, my masterpiece. Merci!
I have finished the inventory of the works of art, Director. Oh, and I have the pleasure of introducing the great detective Sherlock Holmes and his companion, Dr. Watson.
Good day, gentlemen. It's with pleasure that I welcome you to our gallery. I trust that you are here for pleasure and not business.
I'm afraid
Sadly,
that is
no.
not the case.
Oh,
When it is no longer a matter of art, the artist must make his excuses. Messieurs, until we meet again, no need to accompany me. I know the way.
That accent, though.
my apologies, gentlemen. Have you been waiting long?
Mr. Palinor was able to answer all of our most urgent questions. Tell me, who was that man who just left?
That was Horace Valmont, a French painter. One of the best, seemingly. His letters of recommendation come from some of the grandest salons in Paris.
A Frenchman? Let's take a look, Watson.
Yes, he's very avant-garde. He heard that we were showing the works of modern painters during our temporary exhibitions. He has loaned us a number of paintings and has promised to donate those that have the greatest success to the museum.
Lestrade, just in time. And the Frenchman, Watson?
Gone?
Director, this is Inspector Lestrade from Scotland Yard. Lestrade, this is the Director of the National Gallery, Sir Pointer, and his assistant, Mr. Palinor. Lestrade, would you have your constable on duty guard the entrance and make sure that nobody comes into the museum? Director, is there anything else?
No, but
If you would care to follow me, I'll show you what the motivation behind all of this is. The reason for this little gathering is this letter that I received at my lodgings this morning. Without getting into too much detail, it claims that this painting, The Fighting Temeraire, will be stolen tonight.
pardon?
There now. It's because of a letter that you've disturbed me. You believe that?
I would never have taken the liberty to disturb you if this letter, the authenticity of which I must admit hasn't been completely confirmed, was not written by the one and only Arsene Lupin.
Arsene Lupin?
Arsene Lupin?
Arsenal? Who? Lou? What?
Arsene Lupin, the most wanted cat burglar in the world. We will know soon enough whether or not this letter is a fake, or if I had reason to disturb you, Lestrade. But you must understand that we couldn't take even the slightest chance.
Perhaps. Why not simply put this thing under lock and key in the bank or at Scotland Yard?
We cannot risk storing the painting in an improper environment or to entrust it to anyone who calls it a thing.
What
Quite.
that would achieve would be to shift the problem. This painting is priceless. Beware he who would harm it. What I propose, Lestrade, is to do a tour of the museum with Sir Pointer in order to check any possible points of break and entry, and leave 2 men on duty here tonight. In addition, Director, you must close the museum to the public and not let anyone else in.
If you feel it's necessary,
And you?
Holmes?
I'll pass by tomorrow at dawn. We'll know then what we're up against. Should the unthinkable have occurred, I insist that nothing is touched until I arrive. Is that clear? Let's be off, Watson.
Okay.
Listen, Inspector, I have a lot of work to take care of. It would be better if I leave you to do a tour by yourself. You are, after all, a professional. Here are the keys to all of the locked doors. If you need me, I'll be in my office.
Well, I best inspect the museum to find any of Lupin's possible exits, including mice holes.
Now I get to control Lestrade. Ah, haha. Fun. Alright, let's look around, shall we? Here's the director's office.
Anybody who will steal this painting to take it out of the public eye deserves a medal, not the Old Bailey.
Does he say that about all of them?
When I see this, I tell myself that life isn't fair. We amputate too many soldiers and not enough painters.
Wow.
No, no exits on this side, nothing to report.
Alright.
No, no exits on this side, nothing to report.
Other than the dome. Hey, Vicious, how's it going? The game is afoot, Watson. Holmes, please stop playing this little piggy with the body. Oh, dear. How are you doing, Vicious?
No, no exits on this side, nothing to report. No, no exits on this side, nothing to report.
Ugh. Huh. Oh.
Ha! There is a possible entry. If someone wanted to descend from the roof here, he'd need a lot of time, and it wouldn't be a quiet business. But I'd be wise to leave a man on duty here, and he will signal the alarm at any suspicious movement coming from the roof. Arsene Lupin. It's you and I now.
Right. Okay, let's keep looking. What about this one?
It's dark in this box room. Good. No windows, no possible entry.
Hey. Trusting that he knows what the hell he's talking about.
No, no exits on this side, nothing to report.
Oh, I guess that's everywhere. Well,
I will make sure there are no windows, and therefore ways in. Here.
Do your work. I will draw a map for you, Inspector.
I will make sure there are no windows, and then...
Do your work.
Don't get a headache from thinking too hard.
Vicious, you're well, just relaxing after quality time with the extended family. Very nice. Well, I'm glad you could come and relax and watch my stream. Is there anything else I need to go? Let's see. I have nothing. I don't have a map. You're playing as Lestrade now, so remember to be methodical. Walk through each of the galleries as well as the other rooms now you have access to. One particular area that will need to be investigated can be found in one of these new rooms. Check the restoration room. It has a glass roof. We did that. Walk up to and the shroud will come in on it. Now the room is secure. You will also need to check the front door, as well as many other doors you may find around the gallery. Also check the director's office and talk to him. Once you've found all areas, the game will take over automatically. If you're missing anything, wander around looking at doors eventually you will find what you need to continue. Aha! Well then, let's go look at the front door. That's the only thing I didn't click on yet.
We need a cannon to force this door down. The lock is too big to be jimmied, and I'll leave a man on duty in place. If Lupin does come, it won't be that way. Wait for tonight. There. The director and his underling have left. Time for us to play now. It could be that this whole robbery is nothing but nonsense. If not, we're prepared. And this Lupin will play right into our hands. I'll lock the main door to the museum, and you will be locked in. Jeffries is on duty in Trafalgar Square, and the yard is nearby. Nothing to worry about there. The doors leading in will be locked, but you will each have everything you need to open them. Stay hidden and cover your light so you cannot be seen from the roof. You, Lockhart, will be stationed near the painting itself. At the least provocation, go down to the entrance and sound the alarm. The walls are too thick, so you will have to go down for your whistle to be heard. In case of real trouble, be sure to fire with deadly accuracy, because if you even graze one of the paintings, your great-grandchildren will still be paying off your debts. Finally, you'll just have to be content with your lanterns. Gas is too expensive. Let's go, men. Keep your wits about you. You'll be relieved at 4 a.m.
And the painting will have been stolen. Later, Vicious will do. Thank you so much for the Holmes doing goodness. Oh, yes, no worries. Toy train, huh? With knockout gas. Of course. And a little hot air balloon with more knockout gas.
Go on, you cantankerous codger. You have work to do.
Wow, these French accents, I tell you.
You're right, Holmes. The constable below was indeed asked to deliver us a letter. It's from Lestrade.
Nothing good can come from such urgency.
Indeed, Holmes. This time, without doubt, the painting has disappeared. According to what he's written, they've turned the National Gallery upside down looking for it. Our presence is required immediately.
Well, Watson, the game is afoot.
Should we not have enlisted more men from the force to protect the painting?
I think that a whole brigade could not have stopped Lupin. And, of course, we can now be certain that it was he who was behind the theft. First and foremost, the police have a city and lives to protect, and we must respect that. Watson, a hansom will be hard to find at this hour, and Billy, our page, is sick. Would you be so good as to flag one down while I take a moment to reread this letter?
Yesterday, I was a doctor, and now I've become a valet.
All right. Let's go hail the Henson. Aha!
Got a light?
No, sorry.
Is it Sherlock Holmes who lives in these digs here?
Indeed.
Know him?
I do have that honor. I have been of some assistance to him on occasion. Like locating hansoms, for instance.
I say, you're his valet. So tell me, does your master pay well then?
But
I bet you're not above winning a bob or two, am I right? Listen, my friend, word has it that your boss is going to have a right fright tonight at the Picture Museum.
How?
Shh, listen, my good man. If you want to fill your pockets, here's my card. Piers Urquhart Allen, that's my name. Independent reporter's the game. Spill the beans about his biz, and I'll pay you well. Look for me in one of the pubs around here. You can't miss me.
If Holmes finds out that the press is onto this business, he'll be in an explosive mood. Best to avoid speaking about it.
Piers Urquhart, independent journalist. Okay.
Ah, handsome. Now to find Holmes and make our way to the National Gallery.
You've arrived at last, Holmes. We haven't touched anything while we were waiting, except for a ladder which we needed to climb onto the roof. You must have received my message. The painting was stolen.
Did your men see anything?
To tell you the truth, barely anything. There was nothing they could do. The only thing we know for certain is there were two people of athletic build who perpetrated this crime. We don't know if the burglars stole anything other than the painting in question, as they completely redecorated the museum with the paintings of a French artist that were at the entrance to the museum. The paintings that were on the walls are now crammed in the director's office.
Do you have any idea what happened?
Well, not really. I haven't managed to figure it out. We know that the two men exited through the window in the restoration workshop, and that the second man entered through there. But the first man was already in the museum before his accomplice. Yet I had a man in the restoration workshop all yesterday afternoon, and he only left for a minute in order to hear my orders. At no time could the first man have entered through the window. We would have either seen or heard him. The men on the premises confirm they didn't see anyone pass through the entrance until the alarm was sounded. And those two are the only possibilities. How did this man get into the museum, I ask you?
When you have eliminated the impossible, Lestrade, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
I think I already know.
Where are the director and his assistant?
They're both in the office. Go gently with the director. He's close to having a fit. By the way, I noticed some traces of paint or something all over. I've asked everyone to avoid trampling on them until you've had a chance to examine them.
You're making wonderful progress, Lestrade.
Well, I'll go question the neighbors to see if anyone might have seen a 17th century boat descend from the roof.
Watson, accompany Inspector Lestrade. Check out the roof and help out with the interrogations. Be on the lookout for the slightest detail could gain us some precious time.
You can count on me, Holmes.
Right, Watson.
It's a combination lock, a French brand. It looks extremely solid. Impossible to open it without knowing the combination.
This is how. So, the French painter that was here was a fake. He was simply here to get all this stuff put inside. This crate is somehow involved. And probably hiding inside of it. Let's start. We're talking to the director. Oh my.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, such a tragedy. Have you seen what these crooks have done to my museum? Paintings of incalculable value thrown in a heap like hay in a haystack. And the Fighting Temeraire.
Now, calm down, Director. Do you know if they took anything other than this painting?
The director and I are in the middle of doing an inventory of all the paintings that were moved. We are not certain yet.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. We'll be here if you have any further questions. Come, Palinor, back to the inventory.
I'm overwhelmed by this inventory.
Okay. Oh, yes. Everything's different now.
A perfect example of neo-cretinism, a Valmont from his convalescent period.
Alright, now to the scene of the crime.
What horrors! Valmont has unusual taste for a painter. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded. Thomas Gainsborough, one of the most famous English portrait
Left
and
the
landscape
Gainsborough,
painters.
though. hand left these?
A canvas by Joseph Vernet, my great-great-uncle.
So not all of the paintings have been moved.
There is something strange on the ceiling. I have to climb up to examine it, but Lestrade's men are using the ladder. I'll continue to inspect the museum while I await them.
Ah, a letter with my next clue, I'm sure.
Hideous, this painting. A round red frame with some green in the middle. The inspiration behind this canvas is rather queer.
It's interesting, alright. Alright, so you said there were some paint traces?
There is something here. A trace of black rubber. 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 These 4 traces of black rubber are identical and form a square.
So, some sort of ladder was sitting there, I'm assuming, to get that letter on the wall above. Let's see, can I go in here?
Closed.
Okay. What about the room? Nope.
Closed. It's too dark in here. I don't see anything.
Aha! Footprints. Well,
It's through there that one of our robbers arrived, and it's also through there that they must have escaped with the help of a ladder. Ideal to catch by jumping from this skylight. Footprints, look.
oh, come on.
These footprints are size 9.
There we go.
The foot brushed the paint. Someone wanted to warn the person who made the footprints of the presence of liquid on the ground, but too late. The man then went beneath the louver of the window to get out, probably with the help of a ladder. He was wearing shoes from France with supple leather non-skid soles, which have a distinctive design. The person who left these footprints stepped into the paint with his whole foot. Size 10. These footprints are those of common work boots.
Okay. Back and forth.
The paint tracks come from the interior of the museum and stop there. It's curious, but I'd wager that the man who left these footprints rested here a moment while facing the wall and looking at something. Yet these paintings aren't exceptional in the least.
Okay, I can't interact with anything here. I should be able to move this or something.
It's a combination lock.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good.
There's something strange on the ceiling.
Well,
Closed. Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. They both stink.
ha ha. Well,
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the...
let me see about going out.
I have no reason to go there.
Fair enough. Alright, I need a hint. Where can I find the cows of day? How do I open the crate with an entrance? How can I get information on the new footprints? How can I link the footprints to a suspect? Are there any clues to the stolen veins or location? Okay, how can I get a cow? How do I open the crate with an entrance? You'll need the correct combination lock before you can do this. This isn't time for guesswork. Proceed with other avenues until you know the fortunate code. Yes. You can find the one point along the trail part of the way up the stairs there. You can examine them closer to use some tools. Two of the footprints are facing up the stairs in two opposite direction. However, Holmes' tape measures show that they do belong to the same person. Examine all four with a magnifying glass and you will see while you're traveling the stairs, the person was carrying paintings but not carrying them from the journey. Oh.
Footprints, look. Size 10. Size 10. This footprint is quite clear, like a footstep pressed. This footprint is rather light. The man who left these footprints made a return trip. He was carrying something heavy when he climbed the stairs. Paintings, certainly.
Aha. Alright. Size 10 half footprints of the men who stepped in some paint in the restoration workshop carelessly stopped at the right hand side of the museum's entrance. That part where the pieces of the least interest are exhibited. So the closet and the restoration room. Okay. Read something. You'll find two clues. One, look down at the floor of your feet and notice the four marks. Ladders take you upward. The higher places take a look upward. You notice something in the ceiling. There's something there. We're holding your ladder to reach it. That are available to you after you have performed a couple of tasks. First, you need to identify the owner of the footprints in the restoration room. Secondly, you need to move the English and examine the area where the painting was hung. And after all, you have the extract where Villemont is. Okay.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Now, calm down, Director.
The direct...
Damn.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good.
Well.
ideal to catch by jumping from this skylight. Water. These tools are for restoring paintings.
Okay. Not a lot to go on. Oh, excuse me.
It was through the skylights that one of the two robbers came in.
Okay. So one of them hid in that crate by the front door, I'm almost positive. And then he came in here, he set off the traps, knocked out the guards. Then...
A large red square was painted on the floor, most likely by Lupin, but to what end?
That's interesting.
Closed. Why, these two paintings appear identical. Why, these two paintings appear identical.
Interesting.
A perfect example of neo-cretinism. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aesthetics. What horrors! Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration. Self-portrait by Horace Velmont. A bit narcissistic, that one. Closed.
Alright, let's look at every painting.
The artist of this painting wished... A perfect example of neo-cretinism, a Velmont from his convalescent period. Velmont has unusual taste for a painter. French Painters Gallery.
Okay, so that's this room and this room.
The artist of this painting wished to depict... Velmont has unusual taste for a painter. What horrors! Hideous, this painting. Around... Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. English Painters Hall.
Okay, so let's put everything in here. Everything on the floor.
A perfect example of Dutch Gallery. A perfect example. A work by Jan Steen, painter of the Dutch school, a moralist. A winter scene with skaters near a castle by Averkamp, 1585 to 1634, one of the greatest painters from the Dutch school of the 17th century. He specialized in winter scenes. The painting originally extended into a square shape. The countryside, painted by Salomon van Rushdiel. Born in the first few years of the 17th century, died 1670. It makes you want to rest for a moment. Velmont has unusual taste for a painter. An architectural fantasy painted by van der Heyden. A painting by Rembrandt, the sum of his works inspired Baudelaire to write Rembrandt's Sad Hospital Full of Murmurs. Self-portrait at the age of 63 by Rembrandt, the year of his death. The painter affirmed, "I do not paint the man, I paint the passage." What horrors!
Okay. I'm hoping that one
The
of
Flemish
these...
artists are found here. A work by David Teniers, the younger. Velmont has unusual... It's Sir Pointer, the museum director, who is on display here. Amusing. Peace and War. Rubens, the Old Master. Painting probably executed in 1629 or 30, illustrating the hopes for peace between England and Spain. The painter's mission at the time. Rubens was, in effect, also a diplomat.
Nice.
The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection. The Flemish artists are found here. Portrait of a man, canvas loaned to the museum, work of an unknown artist, dating between 1645 and 1655. Looking at this canvas, a perfect example of a family group by Gonzales Cox. Look, a white horse standing by a sleeping man by Peter Verbeek, possibly derived from a 1652 print by Paulus Potter. What horrors!
What horrors!
The artist of this painting wished to depict the total. The Flemish artists are found here. Lady Elizabeth Thimbleby and Viscountess Andover by Van Dyck. Velmont has unusual taste for paint.
Okay, so we looked at everything in here and in here, so let's try in here.
Adoration of the Kings by Botticelli, bought by the National Gallery in 1878. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aesthetic. Saint Catherine of Alexandria, painted by Carlo Crivelli, bought as part of the Prince Anatole Demidov collection in 1868. A perfect example of a painting by Veronese, the family of Darius before Alexander. What horrors! Portrait of a young man in red by Domenico Ghirlandaio. This painting was executed between 1480 and 90 and is on loan. A study by Tiepolo. The Trojans bring the Greek horse into their city, causing their own ruin. Thus it's best to beware of certain gifts. Looking at this canvas, the French painting.
Yes.
This painting depicts the gods Venus and Mars by Botticelli. This painting was exhibited for the first time in 1874 in the National Gallery. Closed. Saint Catherine of Alexandria by Antonio de Solario in 1514, originally part of a triptych. What horrors! The Supper at Emmaus, where the resurrected Jesus appears to his disciples, painted by Caravaggio, 1571-1610. He was a master of chiaroscuro, and the Caravaggism movement was named after him.
Okay.
The Gallery of Italian Works. Venice, La Serenissima. This one from 1740 by Canaletto. The Gallery of Italian Works. Velmont has unusual. A large red square was painted on the floor, most likely by Lupin, but to what end?
I have no idea. Alright, let's see here. This is a bit of a letter.
I have no reason to go there.
I have no reason to go there. Of course not. Well,
looking at this canvas, the French. What horrors! A Grenache. Velmont has unusual taste. Portrait of a woman by Lucas. Charity by Lucan Cranach the Elder. Looking at this canvas, the Ambassadors, 1533 by Hans Holbein. A perfect example of neo-Cretinism, a Velmont from his convalescent period. Judith in the Tent of Holofernes by Johann Liss, 1595 to 1631. What will she do with that head? Tobias and the Archangel Raphael by Adam Elsheimer, German painter. The Archangel should ask what kind of bait he used. This canvas was acquired in 1894 by the National Gallery. It was based on a composition he had previously done. The artist of this painting wished to depict the...
Okay, let's check. Wait.
Footprints, look.
Aha!
These footprints are size 9. These are shoes with supple, non-skid leather soles of French manufacture with a distinctive design. These are, without doubt, the shoes of the French painter Horace Velmont. The footprints left by Horace Velmont's shoes and those made by one of the two crooks are absolutely identical. Lupin is a master of disguise. We met him in person yesterday as Velmont.
I knew it. I knew it. Alright, so what does this tell me? This was the distinct pattern as Lupin is a master of disguise. We just said it was the same person. Lupin and Velmont are the same. Ha 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 ha. Director, where is Velmont?
What do you want, Mr. Holmes? The only one who will be happy is Velmont. His paintings now have the best spots.
I'd wager he's doubly happy, but he'd never come to show his gratitude in person.
Ah, and when will you be done with your investigation, so that we can put the paintings back in their original places?
A deadline will soon be set, I think. However, it is in our best interest to do it as quickly as possible. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. We'll be here.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade wanted you to know that we no longer need the ladder. If you want it, it's near the director's office.
Excellent. Ba, 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 da.
A large red square was painted on the floor, most likely by Lupin, but to what end?
Can I use this in here to get up to here?
It was through the skylights that...
Alright, fair enough. Do, 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 do. Claim, claim, claim.
Elementary.
Elementary. If your initials are JL, the answer is yes. If not, greetings, Mr. Holmes. Our meeting yesterday was far too brief, but I bet it won't be the last. It gives me great happiness that you are participating in this adventure, and even if the ending gives you displeasure, you will have been in the first row for the whole show. Please inform Inspector Lestrade, as you know, but contrary to his belief, I most certainly came in through the entrance. I always enter through the main doors, although leaving is a different matter. But enough of the past. Let's look ahead, shall we? After tonight, I will yet again steal one of the emblems of England's pride. My next target can be found somewhere else in London. It is up to you to identify it before I claim it. For this, I have left you several clues throughout the museum. A mind as brilliant as yours should have no trouble finding and interpreting them. But will you be able to finish in time? To start, I've left some paintings on the walls that I didn't have the heart to replace with those from my personal collection. In observing them well and reading the following poem, you will have all the information necessary to determine the location where I spent yesterday afternoon and early evening. A small bit of advice. Do not break into the place. A painting of great value is inside, and you will ruin it. Into the museum did I go that night, and there did I see Venus and Mars wrapped in white. A rainy day they arrived with much delight. That year, without doubt, remember with all might. A tired horseman was sleeping near there without fear. His white horse, standing tall, whispered into my ear, "My lord, we were painted long ago, that is clear. Truthfully, my second choice, sir, was that year. Hendrik has been dead for ages, I won't be coy. His skaters, young couples, men, women, here a boy. They were his work. But duty or his joy. The length of his life is my third part of the ploy. My fourth is the year of purchase, I swear. Fish and cabbage, young boy and angel, quite a pair. First minus second is third times third. Do you care? Minus the fourth, figure it out and you'll be there.
This poem by Lupin surely makes reference to 4 paintings presently hanging in the museum. Shall we begin our search?
Oh, boyo.
Mr. and Mrs. Andrews by Gainsborough, an unfinished painting. An unrivaled landscape artist, he was obliged to do portraits in order to earn a living. Why these 2 paintings appear identical? Why these 2 paintings
Yes, they do. Crumb. Venus and Mars wrapped in white. We did see that, but where did we see that? Venus and Mars. It's over here. There it is.
Here's what I've been looking for. This painting depicts the gods Venus and Mars by Botticelli. This painting was exhibited for the first time in 1874 in the National Gallery.
Okay. A rainy day they arrived with much delight. That year without doubt remember with all might. Rainy day.
What horrors! What horrors! What horrors! What horrors!
All right. Let's see, which is the first painting? What is the second painting? So this is a white horse. Search the gallery for an image of a white horse. Okay.
What horrors!
White horse. Ha!
Here's what I've been looking for.
It's not the white horse, but it's something.
A winter scene with skaters near a castle by Averkamp, 1585 to 1634, one of the greatest painters from the Dutch school of the 17th century. He specialized in winter scenes. The painting originally extended into a square shape.
Originally? Third. Skaters. Okay, we just have the third one. Let's see if we can find that horse.
A study by Tiepolo.
No. Oh. Where's the horse? Oh, here's another one.
Here's what I've been looking for. Tobias and the Archangel Raphael by Adam Elsheimer, German painter. The Archangel should ask what kind of bait he used. This canvas was acquired in 1890.
Okay, I just need to find Horsey. Oh, I've been everywhere at this point. There's gotta be something missing here.
Can I borrow this lamp?
Unfortunately not. This room is poorly lit, and we need it to work. Perhaps a bit later.
I'm overwhelmed by this inventory.
The horse. Flemish gallery. Aha. There it is.
Here's what I've been looking for. Look, a white horse standing by a sleeping man by Peter Verbeek. It seems that I've found the 4 numbers from Lupin's poem. Now, what do I do with them?
First minus second times third. Do you care? Minus the fourth figured out and you'll be there. What? Oh, I'm too tired for this right now. Huh. Okay, so... what should I do with the 4 numbers found in Lupin's poem? Do as he says in the final few lines. What? First minus second, then times third minus the fourth. Take the 4 values from each verse and perform 3 calculations. 1874 minus 1652 equals 222. 222 multiplied by 49 equals 10879. That minus 1884 is 8984. The final value is a 4-digit number, 8984. You see anything wrong with the digit? Ah, ha 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 ha. 8984, you say?
Open.
Ha!
A half-empty bottle of champagne. To pass the time, no doubt. A half-empty bottle of champagne. A wig and a cushion. For the stomach, no doubt. There is also Velmont's cap and clothing. This is what must have happened. Lupin entered the museum disguised as Velmont. After our meeting, he pretended to leave, but in fact came to hide in the case that Palinor had emptied whilst doing his inventory. A hook permitted him to close the case from the inside, and he calmly waited until the time was right. Once alone, he got out and helped his accomplice enter through the skylight without fearing the police. It's the painting by my great-uncle. Look, there is a paper attached.
Dear Mr. Holmes, you should have at your feet the parts of my disguise from yesterday. No doubt you would have liked to have removed them from me while I was still wearing them. It's possible. Find me in the museum disguised like this and remove my postages. Beware, do it with care and precision, for I am sensitive, and that in fact that you might destroy the next clue. Ah, yes. The self-portrait. Which I think was this way.
Self-portrait by Horace Velmont. A bit narcissistic, that one. This painting has an oil base, but is covered in a fine coat of water paint. I should ask the director how to remove it.
Well, I'm gonna need that water.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Sorry to disturb you, gentlemen. Can you explain how to remove a fine layer of water paint that is covered in oil painting? Rest assured, it does not concern a piece from the museum's collection.
It's simple. You'll need some water to soften the paint, a paintbrush with rigid bristles to scrape off the film, and an absorbent sponge to take it all off.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good.
Yes, yes, yes. You'll be here if I have more questions. Alright, first things first. This brush and sponge and the pot of water. Now, back to the painting. I guess I did kind of go the long way, didn't I?
You and I, Lupin. I need something.
How very clever of you, Lupin. Do.
I need something.
How much does I need to uncover? Do. Do, 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 do. Oh. Well, this isn't exactly a Bob Ross, but you know, we're getting there.
I need something.
Yes, yes.
I need something. I need something.
Oh heavens. Do 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 do. Ha! Here it is. Come on.
There is a bright red C written on this calling card in addition to a poem. This letter must be the beginning of a word or phrase. Now to find the others.
Others? The red surrounding the green isn't right, but for a clue you must look inwardly. If nothing is found, despite your great might, my success will make you green with envy. Oh, brother. Do I have to do this to more of these paintings? Yeah, the first poem says you'd be looking for a red... Oh, right. Red surrounding green. We got that weird red circle painting.
There must be something here. Stay alert now. A piece of the frame is breaking off.
Oh, great paintings, rectangular or square, are hanging in rooms very much like this. In a different one from the northern air, count 6 strides as the needle turns, you can't miss. Okay. Wait, what? Let me read that again. Right paintings, rectangular or square, are hanging in rooms much like this. In a different one from the northern air, count 6 sides as the needle turns, you can't miss. Count 6 sides. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The artist of this painting wished to depict... What horrors!
Well, I'm going to save. There we go. Say what now? The clue station has 6 sides as the needle turns to find the next clue. The needle suggests a compass whose starting point is usually north. Ah. Turn to the north of the room facing the painting of the cat on the right in the previous clue's painting. Now count 6 as you have been instructed to the right. The cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What horrors! Elementary.
In a somber corner under a white cloth, to ensure success, look for the red. It will not be inside, but be not wroth. It is not impossible if you use your head. Look for the red. The red marking on the floor. Okay. In some corner under a white cloth. Oh, wait. White cloth? In here?
It's too dark in here. I don't see anything. I'm in need of a lamp.
I must have this lamp. No excuses this time, Director.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good.
Can I borrow this lamp?
Yes, we are almost finished. Isn't that right, Palinor?
Thank you.
This bucket contains something extremely heavy. I can't move it. A bucket with a red perimeter. Not bad. There is something here.
Under a bouquet of lilies fair, the director is sleeping there, younger by a quarter of an hour, and you shall receive the power. Bouquet of lilies. Where did I see lilies? Right, the director, the Z's. Where was that? Where is this painting? It's the one of the director. Yes, yes. I do remember that much. But where it is, I do not. Aha!
It's Pointer, the museum director, who's on display here. Amusing.
N. Here we go. Your great uncle Horace had a grandfather. Both did proud the name Vernet. The clue will lead you to a race on the Tiber. Decide which painting it is and don't sway. The dual paintings. What are the dual paintings again? I do wish I had remembered this a bit better. Wait, what? Where are they? French, yes. Dun.
Here's what I've been looking for.
Decide which is real?
Why, these two paintings appear identical.
However...
Why, these two paintings appear identical.
I spy with my magic little eye. The color's offset slightly. What am I seeing?
Why, these two paintings appear identical. Haha, Lupin seems to be setting the example. I'm in need of a lamp.
Ah. Good thing I have it. That seems risky and dangerous and insane. Let me just set this painting on fire while it still hangs on the wall.
I will recopy all of that to better study it.
Nice paintings with as much in common. Theme the colors brown, red, green, yellow, and blue. Put the colors face to face, help them to align, and the last letter found will give you a clue. Say what? This is a much larger collection quest. Lupin is literally asking you to find and collect 9 paintings from around the museum with a similar color and theme. The paintings have no real artistic merit and are simply splodges of random bright colors. They are not too difficult to find. Ah, the splodges of color ones.
What horrors! What horrors! What horrors!
Whoa, game, what are you doing to me?
What horrors! This must be one of the 9 canvases. They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without. They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without. They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without.
4.
They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds.
5.
They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without.
6.
They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without.
Seven.
They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds. We could probably do without.
8.
They're hanging art made by 3-year-olds.
9.
They're hanging art made by... I have all 9 paintings now, I think.
So now what do I do with them? Once you have collected all 9, you'll need to align them as the clue suggests. One gallery is spaced marked. Yes, okay, the red marks finally make sense. That was... over here.
Think.
Okay. Of course I can spin them. Why wouldn't I be able to? Could they step back into the little spots? Okay.
Think.
It's gonna be a letter, I think. I think it. Actually, I think it might be an S. Could be completely wrong, though. Think. Think. Okay. Let me give myself a little hint, shall we? The clue begins with an I, and that is a clue. The sixth clue, one? One.
Think.
Okay.
No message proposes another riddle. I must have found all of the clues. However, I haven't made any progress. Perhaps the director might know more.
Interesting.
So, Mr. Holmes, the day is drawing to a close. Can I finally reclaim my museum?
Tell me, director, does this word mean anything to you?
The word. Coronis? Coronis.
Coronis? Yes, we have a painting entitled Apollo Slaying Coronis. It's an old painting. Let me show you. Eleanor?
Here it is.
This painting is rather simple and doesn't seem to be hiding anything special. Can you tell me the history of this piece?
It was created in approximately 1617 by Domenichino and his assistants. It doesn't belong to us, but is on loan temporarily by its owner. It represents the god Apollo using an arrow to slay his lover, Coronis, because of her infidelity.
Ah, who's the owner?
That's all?
Yes, that's all.
Well, Holmes, where are we? It's dark outside. I can't keep going any longer. Not one witness within a half-mile in any direction. It would seem the men disappeared like ghosts.
What is the note that you're holding?
Oh, yes, a constable asked me to bring it to your attention. It could be from Lestrade, as we were separated over an hour ago.
Lo Coronis, destiny is a painting. It was there, but never did she know. Always around her a black shadow, not seeing in the painting. This eve 6 more missing.
Incredible. Lestrade has also started using poetry.
This
No.
note didn't come from Lestrade, Watson. It's Lupin who sent it. Mr. Pointer, what could he mean by a black shadow and not in the painting?
Yes, yes. In the legend, it's Apollo's bird, a raven, who reveals Coronis's infidelity to him. Thus, the raven, who is at the heart of the matter, is curiously absent from the painting.
Anyway, our latest message from Lupin states, tonight, 6 more missing. Do you have the map of London with you, Watson? Get it for me if you would.
Okay.
I have no interest in going there.
6 more missing, huh?
I have no interest in going there. I have no interest.
Have you found the map of London, Watson?
Yes, what do you want me to do?
Yes, Watson, the Tower of London Ravens.
Aha!
If ever the Ravens leave the Tower of London, the British Empire will fall. Lupin wants to capture them. Watson, there isn't a moment to lose. Find a hansom while I leave some instructions for the director.
Alright.
You were quiet during the whole trip in the hansom, Holmes. I'm curious to know what you might have said to the director.
Simply to reveal nothing to the public and claim that the appearance of a strange mildew on certain paintings has forced the museum to close. This quarantine will permit us to avoid the press from aggravating this already embarrassing situation.
But if Lupin pursues his scandalous idea and actions, we won't be able to silence all of the talk that will ensue all over the city.
Exactly, Watson. All we're doing is giving ourselves a bit of time. From here on out, we must win this strange game, Watson. Lupin won the first round and has thrown me headfirst into this business because if he succeeds, my name will eternally be associated with this adventure and synonymous with failure.
But you'll get the upper hand, won't you, Holmes?
We'll see, Watson, that we will.
Who goes there?
Who goes
My
there?
name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend Dr. Watson. We are here at this late hour to meet with the Chief Warder. A recent event has led us to believe that some harm may befall the security of the buildings and goods under his responsibility.
Stay here and wait a moment. Above all, do not deface the walls.
Okay. Alright. Let's save. And I'm actually going to stop it here for tonight. We got our first little bit of the mystery solved. Well, we're on track. Lupin has stolen the first item. Will we be able to stop him from stealing the second? Or should I say the next 6? Yes, this is a lot more puzzly than the last one, which I like. But also it's a bit more of a thinker, so this might take us a little bit longer, and I'll probably be relying heavily on little hints. But there's no shame in that. It's about having the experience, not... And part of the experience, even if I am kind of looking up how to do it, it's all provided in-game, these hints. So, I want to thank everyone that stopped by for stopping by. I'll be back Friday at 8:30 or 8, depending. I might try and move my Friday ones up half an hour. Just because the Minecraft story mode episodes are a little bit longer, and I'd like to start a little bit earlier to be able to get through 2 per stream. So, Friday, we will be continuing Minecraft story mode with the next 2 episodes, episode 5 and 6. And There's only 8 episodes in that, so we are kind of closing in on the second half, so that will be fun. Otherwise, I'll also be back on Monday with more A Plague Tale Innocence. And, of course, we'll be back Wednesday to continue chasing after Lupin to prevent him from stealing all of London's most valuable treasures. So, let's see. I'm kind of doubting it because I don't think I have very many people on my raid list. No. No one. I need to get some more late night streamers that I can raid. So, thank you all for stopping by. Quick reminder that if you are behind or if you want to get caught up on any of my streams, they are all archived to my YouTube channel, Ultrawave7 on YouTube. And otherwise, until next time, everyone, as always, please stay safe out there.